several orders of magnitude. I'm actually not sure what Woody Allen meant by that, but if he meant that succeeding is about being present, then Vince Chang's high visibility within the Asian American and the legal community is indeed significant, particularly for Asian Americans, who are all too easily and all too often dismissed as the model minority, not needing anyone's assistance or attention. That somehow, as a minority group, we're all doing all right, on our own, and we don't need anyone's help. When in fact, we encounter bamboo ceilings in our climb up the ladder of success. And we are noted more for our absence than our presence. As noted in the most recent City Bar benchmarking report on diversity, Asian American lawyers are most notably absent in the highest ranks of the legal profession, a fact that has not changed in the many years that the report has been issued, and which this year prompted the City Bar report to note bluntly that Asian American attorneys are, quote-unquote, losing ground. So the fact that Vince is receiving this important award today is very significant. It means that Asian Americans are finally being noticed and recognized for the part that we play, and the part that we have been playing in increasing and improving diversity in the profession. Yes, Asian Americans are a minority, and we are part of the diverse fabric of this profession, and we have a big part to play in it. As leaders in the Asian American bar, both Andy, Hahn, and Vince Chang have made great strides. First within the Asian American bar and the Asian American community, but also extending far beyond. Vince, after serving as president of AABANY, joined the board of SABI, the South Asian Bar Association of New York, and contributed his time, energy, and talent to making that organization dynamic and robust. But Vince did not stop there. He has been active in numerous other bar associations and groups: NYCLA, the NYCLA Foundation, Legal Services of New York City, the Network of Bar Leaders, the Asian American Law Fund of New York, and the New York City Bar. Vince did more than just show up. He was an active participant and leader in each of these organizations and groups. In fact, later tonight, Vince will be a panelist on a NYCLA CLE program on ethical and other recent developments in financial regulation and litigation. And that's good for 1.5 ethics CLEs in case you're no doubt, Vince will take with him his usual Redwell filled with papers from one of his cases, and he will most likely go back to his office after the panel and do more work. But that's just like Vince. He not only shows up for the proverbial 8% for success, he puts in the remaining 20% and then some by stepping up, rolling up his sleeves, and getting the job done for the Asian American community and the larger community to which it belongs. As the Executive Director of AABANY, we commend the City Bar for selecting Vince Chang and Andy Hahn for the City Bar Diversity Champion Award. Vince has earned it as an attorney, bar leader, role model, champion, and friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud and honored to present Mr. Vincent T. Chang.
Thank you, Jan. And congratulations to all of you on surviving the anticipated Judgment Day and making it to this spectacular rhythm. Apart from the prospect of earthquakes and conflagration, the coming of apocalypse would have had a truly dire consequence. I would have had to revise this speech. Well, I want to thank the City Bar for this award and the Asian Bar Association of New York for nominating me. I am humbled to follow in the footsteps of the outstanding prior recipients, and I am grateful that Andy Hahn and I stand as the first two Asian American recipients. And I am honored to stand on the same podium with the other three diversity champions this year, each of whom is truly preeminent in the field of promoting diversity. I must say that as a New York County lawyer's stalwart, I feel a little bit like a New York Mets player would if he'd been given an award by the rival crosstown Yankees. And I'm especially grateful to Jim Kovac and Catherine Christian, former nightclub presidents, for their courage in venturing deep into enemy territory. Rest assured, though, that I'm contributing to the diversity of the honorees this year in ways other than my bar affiliation. I am, it turns out, the first champion of diversity, born in the state of Kansas. The state, well, second maybe. State notable for Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz and Bob Dole, but not exactly known for its diversity. Well, I want to thank the Asian American Bar Association of New York, Nightclub, and my law firm, Womack, Marr & Deutsch. They've all been enormously supportive, and I'm proud beyond words of my association with all three of these great institutions. I don't have time to thank all of the individuals to whom I owe a deep debt of gratitude, so I'd like to make only 2 points. Well, first, as a certified Bar Association junkie, I urge all of you to participate in the good work done by the organized bar. That's a message especially appropriate in this spectacular room. Bar associations are a great engine for social change and the promotion of diversity. City Bar hosted Martin Luther King Jr. and Earl Warren in landmark civil rights speeches in the mid-1960s at a time when it was less than fashionable to do so. County lawyers' history in promoting civil rights goes back to its very inception in 1908. And as far back as 1943, NICLA refused to renew its affiliation with the American Bar Association because the ABA refused to admit African Americans. And in 1949, NICLA sponsored a conference on civil rights in the post-World War II era, years ahead of its time. Indeed, the idea of a lawyer-statesman derives from the time of Alexis de Tocqueville and the leading Federalist lawyers. And New York's bar associations exemplify this rich historic tradition. New York has some 50 bar associations, so many that it even has a bar association of bar associations. Which is here today. Within this panoply, there is literally something for everyone, and it behooves us all as lawyers and citizens to participate in the law reform efforts and to partake in the fellowship for which our bar associations are so justly renowned. Second, I want to salute specifically the work done by City Bar's Office of Diversity. The Office of Diversity publishes a statement of diversity principles. It's an eloquent statement of the value of diversity that bears repeating. It answers in part, in very short form, the question that Judge Robinson posed to us as to what is the justification for diversity. And I quote, "Through increased diversity, the legal profession can more effectively address societal and individual needs by bringing to bear more varied perspectives, experiences, and knowledge to the practice of law and the administration of justice." To date, the statement has 126 corporate and law firm signatories. City Bar's Diversity Office, as you've heard, also publishes a diversity benchmarking report, an annual compendium of data which measures diversity in our law firms. The report is an enormously valuable resource for anyone concerned about diversity. As President Seymour pointed out, the benchmarking report notes that progress remains slow and painstaking. The heading of one of its sections is telling. It is that overall progress is slow, turnover erodes diversity gains, and the steep pyramid remains well entrenched. Another heading reads, little improvement through time. And I would be remiss if I did not point to one of its most salient findings. It has rightly concluded that Asian American lawyers today face not just a glass ceiling, but a concrete wall. The headline of the benchmarking report reads, Asian American attorneys lose ground. So diversity is indeed a journey of 1,000 miles, of which our bar associations have taken only the first steps. More needs to be done, but I am grateful that all of you in this room are firmly focused on the goal of diversity. Your efforts are truly appreciated. Thank you again for this great honor.